I want to end on a kind of a different note. I'm going to put on the elder hat here for just a moment. And I think I want to say this, and hopefully we can start healing and moving forward in this city as we are in this country. I just want to say this because I was going through my notes last night from June up until now and everything that we've dealt with. And I think we've all grown a lot as a city to understand how we reimagine the police force, but also make sure that we have public safety in place. And what I was saying is, again, Black Lives Matter is powerful and profound, and it's not a slogan. And it does speak to the truth and the history and our lack of humanity, not only to African Americans, but people of color. And I just want to say to those folks out there that when you stand up and do your territorial pledge to the indigenous people, that it isn't just words, it's actions. It's how you behave. It's how you respect people. It's how you see the humanity in other people. And when you say, I want to acknowledge that I'm on indigenous land, that means that you behave as a guest and you listen. And I want to say this, and I'm going to kind of follow the footsteps of Councilor Herbert when she said I may take some slack for this, and I'm beyond taking slack for it because I've gotten other stuff as well. Defund the police by 50% was a slogan, and it was an empty and misleading slogan. It caused damage, it caused pain, it caused trauma, it caused anger. But I understand the aspirational, emotional feeling of why some of my colleagues felt the need to do that, and I've done that before. And so I'm saying moving forward, can we start using the words about how we change, not how we fight? Can we start using the language that we see each other, that it isn't about calling out people, about saving face? Can we start to see the humanity in each other, in our city, in our country, and start healing? So when we talk about the police, it is about redirecting funds. And I want to thank all of you, in particular you, Councilor Mosqueda, which you and I have talked about offline. And I believe Councilor Herbert brought this up this morning, and Councilor Gonzalez, that we have reduced, I believe, about 20% of the police budget in under 6 months. And I don't think any other city has done that. And so we should step back for a moment and say, okay, we've done that. Now, how do we go forward? And I like what Councilmember Gonzalez said. When you undo these type of racist institutions, take it from me that's been around for a long time, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen because you have a chant in a t-shirt. It's being in the trenches, and some of us have been there a long time in the trenches, moving forward, marching towards a plan to do right by everybody. So when Councilmember Gonzalez talked about we need to address the systemic layers of institutional racism, the barriers, the processes, and everything that has kept us from having the kind of community policing that we need for equity. That's what our charge is right now going forward. So when we talk about dismantling, we have to dismantle and replace with process and procedures that promote equity and humanity and a recognition that true community safety belongs to all of us. The us and them has got to stop. We know that a lot of what the hard work that's in front of us is still in front of us. And a lot of those changes have to be bargained. I don't want another lecture about white privilege, about BIPOC, about centering. I'm tired of those slogans. What I really want is the city council to listen, and we have been, to community, but also listen to the whole city about how we make our city safer, how we have a police department that reflects our values, our humanity, without tearing each other down. And in my lifetime, I've seen those institutional changes that have happened. And I know I'm gonna stop my lecture in just a moment. I just want to tell people that this entitlement of I want it now, that's not how the world works. The privilege or the entitlement of privilege of entitlement, that's what I call it, the privilege of entitlement. We are going to slowly and systematically as much as we can, redirect funds from the Seattle Police Department to upstream programs to meet the needs of what a police department we believe should look like within the confines of the consent decree, our bargaining responsibilities, and everything else. So when you hear people say and scream at you that you're not doing enough, we are doing, and we're going to continue doing, and we're going to continue working with the executive, and I'm going to continue working with the communities. I'm going to continue listening and working with my colleagues. And I don't want to be the one. I don't want to call my colleagues out. I don't want to call them names. I don't want to shame them. I don't want to humiliate them. I want to work with them. And so I want to thank you all for all the hard work and for letting me have this moment to share my thoughts. Thank you.